Hi everyone, this is Yann Camus of Bliss Climbing, and today I want to tell you a few things you should bring with you when you go either top rope solo or lead rope solo. Let's jump in. So obviously you want to have all your climbing gear, your chalk, your helmet, your rope, your gear, but you want also to prepare for self-rescue. So the first thing you can do before you go out is tell someone where you're going and at what time to call who to rescue you. But in order to be more self-reliant, there's a few items that you should think of taking with you. So here is a few items. I have some really tiny Kevlar cord that I can use to aid climb on stuff, but it's not good for really securing yourself, but always good to have. Really tiny. I have a Fox 40 whistle, which I've used for calling someone to rescue me, and it worked. That worked better than calling someone on the phone, and faster, and a small knife. You could have also a lighter. It can be useful for a couple of things, like spending the night outside without too much gear. Sometimes to make a small fire will keep you warm. I had that happen to me also. And now you want to think of self-rescuing yourself when you're climbing and maybe you fall and you cannot go up or you cannot go down. So what will you do? What gear will you use? Obviously, you have already your rope grabs that you use on top rope solo or lead rope solo. That can be useful, but usually you should always, and I always, carry a little bit more. So one item that you will probably have with you is Petzl's micro traction. So this is already really useful for a lot of maneuvers, but I always add a tie block on a locking carabiner, because if I want to go up a rope, this tie block can be my ascender in a pinch, and it's really light. I will always carry it on the back of my harness. I will typically not have aiders or ladders. I will just have a bunch of 60 centimeter Soon slings that are Dyneema or Spectra. They are super light and they can be used for many things. So here I have 6 of them. You will see me with 5, 6 of them all the time climbing at the crag. Only on big walls maybe I will take twice that, maybe 12 on a big wall. I typically carry them like this over the shoulder on one side, and I have typically also one carabiner on each, maybe a light one, or without a carabiner. Very useful. And you have to think of how you can rappel in a pinch if you need it. If you're top rope soloing or lead rope soloing, how do you access the ground really fast? So think about all the possible situation. If you're top rope soloing, usually the rope reaches the ground. It's quite easy. You just have to know how to transition into the rappel. Think about and practice what's going on if you're completely in the void, not touching the rock. This is probably the worst situation. Or maybe if you have just one arm to do your thing. And if you're lead climbing, think about if your climb is more than half rope, then you will not reach the ground if you go really high with the other end of the rope. You might have to attach securely the end of the rope somewhere in order to reach the ground. And if you want to leave the minimum gear possible, think about it. Like there's a lot of details to think about. The gear you will bring in order to rappel will depend on what gear you already have with you. For example, if you are lead rope soloing with a gree-gree as your belay device, you will probably use that gree-gree to also rappel. By the way, learn how to use a blocked rappel. This might be a good option in lots of situations. Same thing if you use the Gnome, the Love, the Eddy. Now, all other devices, you will need a few items. For example, if you're using the Soloist or the Revo, at least have a Prusik is my recommendation. For the Soloist, maybe even having a gree-gree on you would be nice. For the silent partner and the clove hitch, you would use probably a gree-gree to rappel, or if you're in the ATC crowd, go for it. If you're using the Camp Goblin, you can use just a locking quick draw with an ATC like this, and it will just be perfect with your Camp Goblin as a third hand. Also, I want to say that I have one video that got not so many views, but I think it's one of the most important. Just click right there in order to get to that buddy check for the rope soloist video. So for many more details about how to top rope solo and lead rope solo, go see my website blissclimbing.com for online courses. I hope you liked this video. Please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you soon. Thank you.